Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan. The Book of Boba Fett has been met with mostly positive reviews from the normies of the world, but from the avid Star Wars fans, less than positive reviews, usually mediocre when it comes to Disney Plus Star Wars shows. And one of the biggest criticisms that have been labeled against the Book of Boba Fett TV show is that it is not the character of Boba Fett anymore. He's not the brooding, dangerous, quiet bounty hunter anymore. He is a talkative, helmetless, nice guy who's just like, you want to kill me? Do you want a job instead? That's not Boba Fett that we saw in the old movies. That is in no way, shape, or form. It's not even the same Boba Fett we saw in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale who shot Bib Fortuna in the face just to get his seat. This Boba Fett would not do that, and it takes place immediately after. This has nothing to do with the character of Boba Fett, and his rapid change has affected a lot of diehard fans negatively. But as they always do, the Access media is constantly singing the praises of the show, saying it's the best thing ever, and this Boba Fett is the same as Boba Fett's always been. You just aren't smart enough to realize that it was always this way. And most of them don't actually address the change, they just say it was always that way. But CBR is actually noticing the change, but then spinning it to their own favor. So we got the CBR article here. The Book of Boba Fett turns the bounty hunter into an activist. Yes, they did. That is a very good way of putting it, which is surprising from CBR, who's normally pretty woke. But let's get into it, see what the comments are. The Book of Boba Fett introduces a different version of the bounty hunter than what Star Wars fans are used to. Why does he suddenly want to do good? They're asking a question. I'm so proud of them. It's like a little kid who learns to pee in the bowl for the first time instead of peeing his diaper. It's like, you go. You're almost you're almost doing good. You're almost an adult. Let's see how much they actually go into this topic. Warning, this article does contain spoilers. So yeah, if you guys care about spoilers, I doubt you do. But, that's how it goes. With a handful of episodes left in the premiere season, the Book of Boba Fett is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable Star Wars series yet. Unpredictable as in it's shit, sure, and that nothing happens, but like unpredictable like, oh, what's going to happen next? No, it's like, wow, I wonder what's going to happen next. Some more sitting around and talking, I think, huh? Yeah. Well, let's see. After Ming-Na Wen was warned fans the show will hit differently after the finale airs. That could be a really good thing or a really bad thing. And story-wise, few could have expected the Tusken Raiders would have become likable, influential characters in Boba's story. That wasn't surprising to anyone who'd seen the direction that Disney's been taking in the last couple years, but perhaps the most talked about point among Star Wars fans related to the Book of Boba Fett, however, is the fact that Boba Fett isn't the same character many have known from the original and prequel eras of the saga. Absolutely true. He's nowhere close to that same character. There, he was old. He was depicted as cold, ruthless child and later man who had zero qualms about seeking revenge, taking out his enemies, and doing whatever it took to get the job done, no matter the cost. Yeah, Darth Vader, the scariest motherfucker around, had to say no disintegrations to him. That's a terrible Vader impression, but Vader doesn't tell someone specifically don't disintegrate anyone unless this guy is absolutely capable of disintegrating people. This Boba Fett in the TV show would be like, oh, you stubbed your toe? Come here, let me kiss it better. That's this Boba Fett. This Boba Fett would not disintegrate anyone in a million years. And anyone saying, oh, it's because the Sarlacc pet did mental things to him. That is a cop-out argument that doesn't make sense and is not even explored. Like, if you explored that idea to its fullest and made that the central plot of, or character arc of the show, that could be interesting and could absolutely work. But they don't even acknowledge that idea in the show. They don't even mention it. It's fans trying to headcanon their way into making this garbage show make any sense. That's not the Boba Fett portrayed in the Book of Boba Fett. Audience may have seen him gun down an entire band of speeder gangers with the fire spray, obliterating the mighty Sarlacc with a seismic charge after doing the most retarded shit ever. I can't see. It's dark. Motherfucker, you just blocked out the sun. What was it gonna... What'd you think was gonna happen? Sarlacc was gonna start glowing? The fact that he was even there to begin with made no sense, but... with the cycling chart, the occasional troublemaker at Tashi Station. Yeah, he hires all the troublemakers in Tashi Station. But in one key conversation with Phoenix Shand in The Gathering Storm, Boba explains the continuing arc of his character, or not just to her, but to viewers as well. He may not be in the game for the bounties, but for the future of bounty hunting across the galaxy is still very much on his mind. In fact, they are the reason why he decides to take Jabba's throne. That's a shit reason. It's a very shit reason. Beneath the night sky of Tatooine, Finnick tells Boba that his quest to advocate for better working conditions for bounty hunters will put some hunters out of work. He argues that more lives and credits than necessary have been lost due to incompetent clients. Yeah, I heard about this. Like, he blamed Jabba and Vader for him nearly dying. It's like, no, you acted like a dumbass and went 1v1 against a Jedi Knight. Yeah, what'd you think was gonna happen? And yeah, Jabba didn't tell him to do any of that stuff. Jabba had nothing to do with him falling into the Sarlacc besides paying him to be on the barge. His decisions are what led to him falling in, and that was absolutely a known risk of doing a job like that. If you're a bounty hunter, if you're a mercenary, there's a high chance you're going to die at some point. It's in the job description. So, no, the clients have not done undue work. You can just say no to a client if they're doing something stupid. Yeah, that's just retarded. With Boba in charge of his own house, he believes that he can keep bounty hunting profession afloat without such devastating costs. He's in charge of a single town on a single planet. How many bounty hunters will he hire? 3? At most? Oh, okay. He'll fix the lives of 3 bounty hunters. Good for you. Totally makes sense to become a drug lord or a crime kingpin in a backwards desert planet to save 3 bounty hunters from trouble. Totally makes sense for a character arc or motivation. So much sense. You have no idea how asinine that sounds. The Boba Fett that fans are familiar with probably wouldn't have expressed so much concern for the livelihood of others. Absolutely not. After all, this is the same Boba Fett who sought murderous revenge against Mace Windu in the Clone Wars, the same character who is still depicted as a ruthless presence in the comics. But Gathering Storm leaned quite heavily into the fact that Boba will still seek revenge against those who have wronged him. He simply also recognizes that some individuals are just trying to make their way in the galaxy, earn a paycheck, and have a good meal now and then. In other words, he has dimension, something he didn't possess. I was really hoping CBR would just do the Sarlacc excuse. But this is just like, he has dimensions. No, they absolutely contradicted. Adding dimensions is different than contradicting a character's pre-established traits. Completely and totally different. Wow, this argument is like a toddler. Boba Fett may not be the same character that was dominating the pages of Star Wars comics and store shelves for decades, but that's because Boba, now the star of his very own show, is finally given room and opportunity to grow. Same thing, added dimensions. You can add so many dimensions to this character. Add many, as long as you don't contradict what is already established. Add without subtracting. They subtracted everything they had and then added whatever they wanted. This argument doesn't even apply. Dumbass. He's now a human being with empathy. He shouldn't have empathy. He's a badass motherfucker. You can evolve to have empathy. But you need to show that evolution instead of being like... He's not even... arc that would make more sense is if when he gets out of the Sarlacc pit, he immediately starts hunting Han Solo for revenge. That makes sense. That would be an opportunity to add dimensions to his character. But he's like, you know what? Fuck Jabba. It's like, Jabba's not the one who hit your jetpack. Hate Han. These writers are so dumb. CBR and Disney alike. Jesus Christ. His time living with the Tusken Raiders showed him that not everyone in the galaxy has a fair chance of survival, and he believes he can do something about it. You know, the people who enslaved him. Just think about that argument. I'm going to use transpositionary logic here and take it to an extreme to make a point. So this is an extreme example, but the same logic applies. Imagine if someone was kidnapped from Africa, hypothetically, and taken to America against their will and forced to do work, but they realized that, a child was nice once. You see a white kid be nice, that totally means we should not abolish the culture that this society holds. Jesus Christ. They're defending slavery now in Disney. That's how fucked up they are. Just like Mulan defending the concentration camps in China. Yeah. Jesus Christ. This is so sad. Morality and just good morals are so confusing to these people. They don't even realize the irony of making slavery okay. Just because, Native Americans had slaves too. They enslaved white people, and they needed to change that part of their culture. Yes, they did. You don't have to blatantly say they're perfect just because they went through hardship. They absolutely did. The Tusken Raiders may be unfairly discriminated against, absolutely. But you don't have to show them as inherently good while showing them committing slavery. It's like, no, they need to evolve, but there's a good foundation hidden enough beneath all the shit. Just like what happened to America during that time. Yes, there was a lot of shit going on, which was awful, inhumane, really, really bad. But there was a good foundation beneath all that allowed us to evolve into a better society. So you got to expect evolution along with cultures like this. You don't have to say they're implicitly good like this show is trying to paint the Tusken Raiders as. They're ignoring the negativity to paint a positive narrative. You should not do that. You should accept the good and try to change the bad, but also acknowledge the bad. Just ignoring it doesn't make the bad go away. Like many Star Wars characters before him, he now serves as an example of to all those who see injustice around them. Power, influence, and legacy can be used for good. Boba has changed, and he's going to change the galaxy. It's okay to have anti-heroes. It's okay to have bad people. And it's okay. Narrative consistency is an important part of any storytelling endeavor, and this show spits in the face of narrative consistently and character consistently. If you want to show an evolution of him becoming a good guy, fine, but take your time and show it. Don't just be like, he's good now. Because we can't show complicated people on Disney Plus. Fuck off, CBR and Disney. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Anon. If you like what I do here and want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you, check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Books 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.